Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of Building More Than Just a Body. I'm here with Ian Ryan. He's a health coach who helps people who are motivated and professional in their workforce. So he is going to go ahead and introduce himself a little bit further and tell you about how awesome he is at helping people live a fearless and healthy life.
Well, first off, I'm honored. The second guest on your new show. I'm excited to really see how this goes. And so I started as a personal trainer and fitness coach in Washington, D.C. about 10 years ago. And I finally decided it was time to take things online. I really wanted to reach more people, some stuff going on in the industry that, I wasn't all about. Working in the corporate setting, I felt like I was kind of sheltered. I wasn't allowed to really put myself out there and teach people some of the other things that don't get talked a lot about in the fitness industry. So now I'm trying to take that online and just help coach people, not only in the nutrition and fitness portion of things, but really the mindset, right? How do we hold this together and make sustainable change for the long haul?
Yes, 100%. I'm with you on that. I definitely believe that we need to focus more on mindset, which is why I think that fitness is so much more than just building a great body. And I think we're getting a little bit of feedback on the audio, so I just want to warn everybody that I'm sorry about that, but we're just going to keep on rolling through, okay? So I'd love to know what got you into fitness specifically on your own journey.
So what got me into fitness? Well, it was really when I was in college, Felicity. So basically, I was always a skinny kid growing up. Like I didn't have the fat kid to skinny transformation thing. Me, it was kind of the opposite. I was a skinny kid that couldn't put on muscle. And I kind of had this like fake six pack growing up. I didn't have any muscle on me, but I was able to kind of stay thin. And then I went to college and I put on like 20 pounds in my first semester. And I remember coming home and like everyone noticed.
Whoa.
Yeah, everyone noticed that I put on a bunch of weight. And no one could believe it, because I was still like the skinny kid, but now I was the skinny fat kid. So I went back to college and I knew, I had to do something about it because for me, being away at school, I didn't know anyone. My confidence had kind of taken a shot because now, I'm a little bit overweight, nothing big, but for me, I had never experienced that. So I was definitely lacking in the confidence department. And that was when I just kind of made that mental shift. I said, now, if I don't change now, like I'm never going to be able to get the girl that I want or anything like that. Right. So that's kind of how it started. Luckily for me, I met some older people that kind of took me under their wing, showed me how everything was done. And then what's amazing about fitness, you start to see those results and you just want to keep going. So I was able to really get a lot of results in a couple months. And since then, I just haven't stopped. So that was really the start of my fitness journey, was my freshman year of college.
Wow, that's awesome. It's so true. Right when you start your fitness journey, you really don't want to stop. As soon as you see those results, it's like, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm feeling good about myself. And it's just so fun. So now I want to know what keeps you going every single day.
So in terms of fitness, I guess when I got out of college, I really started to recognize the powerful impact that fitness could have not only on your physical health, but your mental health, right? And especially when I started my business, I started to notice if I wasn't taking care of myself, I was less creative, I was less productive, my work wasn't as good, I felt like crap. So that's really what keeps me going now. It's obviously I like to stay in shape and I like to stay lean pretty much year round, but for me, it's so much more than that. It's really just the mental benefits that I get from working out. So now it's ingrained in my daily behaviors. I wake up every single day. I work out in the morning. Even if I have a busy day, even like 20 to 30 minutes, it just gets my day off to the right start. And what I always like to tell people is, you're either taking control of your day or you're reacting to the world around you, right? You start getting into social media and start doing all the things that you really don't have any control over. Whereas, your body, you do have control over that. So I always try to make me a priority first thing in the morning.
Wow, that's exactly what I was going to ask you next, which was basically how you show yourself love every single day. So I'm not sure if that's just the only way you do it, but it definitely goes hand in hand. So what would you say to that?
Yeah, well, let's go through a couple, I guess, of my daily rituals or habits, right? That I
Yeah.
think are huge in my life. And I know we both have we both have the same coach, right? And AJ, so I'm familiar with his morning routine. Mine's very similar, but every single morning, the first thing I do is I grab a journal, and I just really I express gratitude for what I'm thankful for in my life, because a lot of times, we focus on the negative, right? It can be easy, so easy to focus on what's not right in your life. But if you start every day from a positive state, everything else kind of falls into place. At least that's what I've kind of figured out in my own life. So from there, as soon as I finish journaling, I go downstairs. I drink a big glass of water, because your body is actually dehydrated at night, right? So I do love coffee though, but I don't drink that until after my water. And then I spend a little time on my personal development, because you just mentioned showing yourself love. I think it's so important to keep up and constantly educate yourself, especially, a lot of people, they get out of college, they never read a book again. And I've noticed that the more positive, nourishing information that I take into my mind every day, the more creative and the more positive energy I have for everyone else around me. So journaling, personal development, then a quick workout. I usually do like a HIIT workout if I don't have a lot of time. And then from there, I have what's called my morning power shake. So I always want to put the right nutrients in my body each and every day. And it's super easy. So for anybody listening that might not have time for breakfast, what I do is I put a whey protein. So that kind of gets your metabolism going. Then I put some healthy fats in my shake, a little bit of fruit, and chopped ice, and then a mixer. And that's like I call it my trifecta, right? My personal development, my fitness, and then, taking care of my nutrition.
Wow, that is very insightful, and I'm actually going to rewatch this so I can write that recipe down, because I love it. I definitely agree with you 100% on all of that. I even start my own day now with journaling as well, ever since I hired a mindset coach who was on our first interview. But anyways, ever since I started journaling, I agree with you. You start looking at the world differently. You show gratitude to different people differently, and you just appreciate the things around you in a completely different way. And so it allows you to better serve the people around you because you love yourself. So it's so powerful, and I could not agree more with you.
Very on point. We are very aligned there. I think it's one of the most important things that you can do. And since we're on gratitude, it's been something also that's got me out of some tough times in my life. When things weren't going well, having that journal, coming back to journaling has allowed me to see what I do have in my life that I'm thankful for, and it just it puts everything in a perspective, I like to say.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree completely. It definitely does. And it helps you to really look at the world in a way of a place from positivity rather than what more do I need? You look at what you already have, and that allows you to take way more action in terms of what you could have. So now I want to know, you mentioned earlier about how you have this, you left the corporate world. So now I want to know, what do you believe today is the number one problem or issue in the fitness industry?
I think that the biggest problems, Leslie, is there's so many people out there that are preaching magic pills, right? Take this supplement and you're going to, get the body of your dreams. The shortcuts that people preach. And from, one angle, I understand marketing, right? But from another angle, we both know that's just not the case, right? It's a long-term thing, and you really see the results. You might see the quick results after a couple months, but it's so much more than that, right? If you're able to ingrain these behaviors in your life long-term, you start to see these amazing benefits that correlate to all these different areas of your life, So I think the big problem is there's always a new trend, right? Whether it's in nutrition or whether it's in fitness. I had one of my old coaching clients called me the other day and wanted me to give her some advice. And she was saying, Ian, I just started the military diet. I said, what's the military diet? The last time we talked, you were on the zone diet. Before then it was, the Atkins diet. So it's never staying with something for long enough to see the results that they could get, when really in hindsight, I think fitness, right, is really simple. It's not complicated, and people tend to overcomplicate it because the influx of information. So instead of just following, like a solid nutrition plan and a workout plan that's consistent, they want the shortcut, and then they get information overload. They start to lose confidence that the plan is actually going to work, and then they usually fall off and quit.
Yes, exactly. I cannot stress that enough, because there are so many people who come to me, and I'm sure to you as well, saying, oh, like, I tried this, I've tried this, I've tried everything. And I'm like, well, you've tried everything that works for a short period of time, but what have you tried to change your lifestyle? What have you tried to change your mindset? What have you tried to actually approach this from a place of, I love myself enough to put in the time, the effort, and even the money to really change and invest in myself? And so I think, like you said, this magic pill is so non-existent. And because as humans, we kind of always search for, I mean, we naturally want to survive and we want to thrive. So we're lazy creatures. By nature, we're lazy. So we look for those shortcuts, and we look for those things that can just be given to us, because we think that that's the best way for us to go about it. But then in reality, for people like you and me, we are hurt watching them do this to themselves. And it's so important to find something, one, that works for you, and two, that's balanced, because not having enough carbs, not having enough fats, not having enough protein is going to destroy your body from the inside out. Even if it's giving you the aesthetics you may want right now, years from now, it's going to be incredibly difficult to even see any results, because you've been putting yourself in these deficits, and you've been cutting down maybe too many calories. You've been having too many calories, and it's just so much imbalance that it's important to really figure out what's best for you. So I want to know, what is something that keeps you going every day? Like, what keeps you going to the gym? What keeps you feeling fit, healthy, and totally confident? Because I listen to your voice, and I know you're super confident. You know a lot about what you do, so I'd love to know what keeps you that way.
You know, I really think what helps me stay focused and aligned is really having positive daily behaviors ingrained in my everyday, right? So I have selected what's called a daily action plan. Now, sometimes I veer off and I don't do exactly what I planned, but I touched on this before. What keeps me going is, I always have a couple things that are for me. Just like you said, you have to love yourself. You have to constantly do things that put you in that positive state. Like AJ says, right? You can't be operating at a 1, 2, or 3. You really have to be, happy and vibrant, right? And if you're more vibrant and more energetic on a daily basis, you get so much more stuff done. You're happier. The people around you want to be around you. And it's just so true, right? So I've noticed, and I always like to share stories and examples so maybe the audience can kind of relate to what I'm saying. I just had guests in town last week. So I had some family and friends that were visiting, and it was amazing to see them. It was so great. I now live in San Diego. I'm from DC. So they came down, and, we got to spend some time together. But it was really hard for me to get back in the groove, right? Because I was entertaining them. I was hosting them. I was taking them around town. So for me, it's like, okay, so they left. So how am I going to get back to my daily routine, back in the gym after I took, 4 or 5 days off from working out, back into my morning ritual? So, I really had to force myself to make sure that I started every single day off on the right track, right? And it kind of leads to this domino effect. So getting back to me, but once again, creating that daily action plan. So I have a Sunday night ritual where I basically look at my week ahead, and I'm like, okay, so what are the big tasks, the 2 to 3 big things that I can get done on a daily basis to get positive momentum going back in my day? So maybe if that's like, I haven't been in the gym for a week or something, it's like, okay, let me just do a 20-minute jog tomorrow, but it's done. It's already there. We're not going to think about it. It's in the schedule, right? And then all of a sudden you're a lot less stressed, because now you kind of are analyzing your week. You've planned it out a little bit, and you're able to get that momentum and to get back on track. So with that daily review, you tie that into your morning routine. And just remember, everyone falls off. I fall off too, but it's just important to get back up and then revisit your goals, and that'll make them more front of mind when you attack your day and your week.
Yes, definitely. So right, so true. I don't even think I could add anything else to that, because that is just such valuable information. And I know that's going to help a lot of people, especially considering your niche is really working professionals and people who are motivated and in the workforce. So that having those action plans and those action steps are something that really, really relates to their daily lifestyle. So I know that's really, really helpful for those people listening. And so before I let you go, I want to know 2 things. One, what would you tell someone who no longer is concerned about their health and fitness, but is just in this complete state of, I don't like my body, I don't feel good in my skin, and I know I need to change, but I can't because I have these limiting beliefs. What would you tell them?
Your health is your wealth, first of all. It's your greatest asset. You know, if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of everything else around you. So really, if we look at it from a selfish perspective, if you're not taking care of yourself and you have loved ones, right, it's not just for you. Like, let's say you have kids, family, a sister, brother, all that stuff. If you want to live a long, vibrant life full of energy, you have to constantly work out for yourself, right? And the other thing is, you know, if you're having those limiting beliefs, just know, man, like, you know, you have to fall in love with the journey and the process. There's going to be days that, you know, you might not believe in yourself, but the more consistent with it you are, the more likely you're going to be succeed. And also surround yourself with people with like-minded missions, right? You know, maybe you find a support group, find people that bring you up, they inspire you, they enlighten you. You know, find a support network, find people that are going to support you and aren't going to pull you down. But that, you know, we'll touch on what I just said. So is just really, you know, realizing that, you know, if you want to live a long life full of energy, your health is the number one thing that you have to take care of. And I can't preach that enough.
Wow, yes. So would you say that that is the one thing that you absolutely need the world to know, is that without your health, you don't have anything?
You know, without your health, you really can't attack anything in life with 100%. You're 100% best. Yeah, you really can't. You know, you even hear now, you know, I work with a lot of professionals, like you had mentioned, and even a lot of, you know, entrepreneurs now, like Gary Vaynerchuk, and all these people, you know, that,
There you go.
yeah, they even say it's like, you know, without your health, like, you start to realize, like, that is the most important element of everything. I mean, it really is. And, you know, I just wish more people would buy into it, you know, and they could see not only the physical benefits, but it lay over to all other areas of your life. And then when you get older, you're probably going to have lower bills, right, in terms of healthcare and all that stuff too. People don't think about that. You know, they say they don't have time for their health, but we all know the truth.
Exactly. And you can spend thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of every single dollar on shortcuts, on things that don't work for you, on no one holding you accountable. And a big part of it is your mindset. If you don't have anybody holding you accountable, not even yourself, or at least you don't learn how to take care of yourself, it's not going to result in anything. So like you said, the bills are going to add up. The health in the future is not going to be there. And they're not going to be able to better serve the people around them, and let alone themselves. So I want everyone to be able to surround themselves, like you said, with a positive environment. So I want them to know about your podcast so they can get on that and listen. So I'm going to include that in the description and the links on everything that I post. But I definitely want you to tell them yourself why they should come and listen.
Sure, absolutely. So they can come on over and check out my podcast. It's called Fearless and Healthy. You know, I've had a lot of incredible guests on the show. I mean, you know, just going over to my website, and you'll probably notice some of the people I've had on the show at fearlessandhealthy.com. But, you know, it's a nice blend of personal development and fitness, right? Because I really try to talk a lot about this whole mind-body connection. And I ask a lot of the same questions that you asked me on this show, you know, about habits and rituals and the things that really matter. So I'd love for you to connect with me. I also have a Facebook group called the Fearless and Healthy Community. I'm sure you'll link up to everything. And, you know, I look forward to connecting to anyone that wants to connect.
Yes, definitely. Surround yourself with people like Ian. Get away from all those big name people who just want your money, and go to someone who really cares about you. And I know that you have the support of both of us, and we would love to see you in our group. So have an awesome day, you guys, and make sure you go and reach out to Ian. His name is Ian Ryan, and give him some love, show him some love for these awesome breakthroughs that he helped you to have. So have a great one, and we'll talk soon.